Skiing was originally purely functional, and starting in the mid-1800s it became a popular recreational activity, bringing crucial economic support to communities through ski resorts. The oldest information about skiing is based on archaeological evidence. One of the oldest skis ever found was discovered in Sweden and has been dated as far back as 5200 BC and was made from pine. Skiing began as a means of transportation, facilitated hunting, and was also used widely in warfare. The history of skiing and its development is intertwined with many bloody conflicts. The Norwegian military had ski competitions from the 1670s and used them as training exercises for soldiers. Norwegian-Danish military officer Olaf Rye was the first known ski jumper. He jumped 9.5 meters through the air in 1809 in front of an audience of soldiers. By 1862, ski jumpers were tackling much larger jumps, traveling longer distances, and competing in ski jumping contests. The first pure ski jumping event was held in 1862 Trysil, Norway. The first known civilian ski race took place in 1843 in Tromsø, Norway, which included alpine skiing as well as ski jumping in the competition. Alpine skiing first began as a club sport in 1861 in Canberra, Australia. Norwegian gold miner and carpenter Louis Gotas taught his fellow fortune seekers how to make skis from alpine ash and then how to ski. The first national skiing competition was held in the capital of Norway and won by Sondre Norheim in 1868. Sondre Norheim is known as the true father of modern skiing. He made important innovations in skiing technology by designing new equipment, such as different bindings and shorter skis with curved sides to facilitate turns. He also designed the telemark ski and introduced the telemark style of skiing, also known as freeheel skiing. Ski jumping has been part of the Olympic Winter Games since the first Games in France in 1924. Alpine skiing made its Olympic debut at the 1936 Winter Olympics in Germany with the single combined downhill and slalom event. Beginning in 1948, separate downhill and slalom races were held. Men's cross-country skiing has been a part of the Olympics since the first Winter Games held in France in 1924, while women's events were contested at the 1952 Winter Olympics in Oslo, Norway. Early skis were not built for speed, but instead to keep the skier on top of the snow, and were strapped to the skier's shoe with leather straps. The earliest ski equipment was made from bone and wood, and has continued to improve and evolve over time. Wood skis were the standard until the 1960s, when the first fiberglass skis were made. In the 1990s, manufacturers started making shaped skis, which are also called parabolic skis, and are made from aluminum, fiberglass, Kevlar, titanium, and carbon fibers. Skiers wore regular footwear while skiing until the turn of the century, and the first downhill ski boots were made of thick leather. By the 1930s, these boots were very common. They kept the skier's feet warm but did nothing to help control the skis. In 1962, Bob Lang introduced the first plastic ski boots. These boots had increased control, fit, and performance compared to the leather boots, and other manufacturers quickly followed Lang's design. In 2009, the first carbon fiber boot became available, increasing control and comfort for the skier because they are much lighter and more flexible compared to the plastic boots. The first ski poles doubled as spears for hunting and were made of wood. After that, early skis were made from bamboo with baskets attached on the bottom so that they would not sink in the snow. After World War II, ski poles were made from steel, and in 1958, aluminum poles became popular. From 1990 till present, carbon fiber poles have been the pole of choice. In 1868, Sondre Norheim demonstrated telemark skiing, also known as freeheel skiing, and he was also the first one to demonstrate the stem Christie turn. In 1897, Matthias Zardsky published a book describing the snowplow turn, a ski breaking and turning technique that is still taught to beginners today. By the 1960s, the parallel turn had replaced the stem Christie as the predominant technique, as it generates much less friction and is more efficient in maintaining the skier's speed. The Arlberg technique, developed by Johann Schneider, was the primary method of instruction in alpine skiing from 1910 to the 1990s. It is a progressive system that takes the skier from the snowplow turn into the stem Christie turn through stages. With the evolution of the shaped or parabolic ski in the 1990s, the advanced carving turn is now superior, and many ski schools move students directly from the snowplow turn to carving as soon as possible. In a carving turn, the ski turns itself and is driven by the side cut geometry while losing no speed. Freestyle skiing is a form of skiing which originally encompassed three disciplines: aerials, ski ballet, and moguls. It now also consists ski cross, ski halfpipe, and slopestyle. Freestyle skiing became a part of the Winter Olympic Games at the 1992 Games in France. Moguls became an official medal sport at the 1992 Games, while aerials and ballet were still demonstration events. At the 1994 Games, aerials also became an official medal event, and the ski ballet competition was dropped. For the 2010 Winter Olympics, ski cross was added to the program, and at the 2014 Winter Olympics, ski halfpipe has been added.
In those days, a good skier was someone who could just get to the bottom of the hill without falling. But by the 1960s, the world had more than 10 million avid skiers. And a good skier was someone who could keep his skis together and make his way down the slope with a few jumps and some quick wiggles. But things changed in the 70s. Millions of skiers created millions of moguls, and the hot dogger was born. On March 10th, 1971, in Aspen, Colorado, 100 skiers and 3,000 spectators were on hand to take part in the world's first hot dog contest. A new pair of skis would be awarded to the skier who could make the hottest, fastest run down the ridge of Bell Mountain. A fall was only judged as a fall if the skier came to a complete stop. Otherwise, it was considered a recovery, and great recoveries scored high. The rules were made as the contest progressed, and contestants received points from the judges based on the reaction of the crowd. Sun Valley's Dave Wheeler with a dazzling off-the-wall performance. Went wild when Squirrel O'Callahan put in this winning run that covered the entire course and included a near miss of the crowd, unscheduled airtime, and several disastrous falls that O'Callahan craftily converted into incredible recoveries. Within 2 years, hot dogging became skiing's biggest spectator event, and 200 competitors would show up for a contest where $50,000 in cash prizes would be awarded the winners during a 3-day festival. Local skiers would arrive on the scene and join in just for the thrill of competition, while serious skiers quit their jobs and joined the circuit. The name was changed from hot dogging to freestyle, but the crowd still gave the biggest cheers for the biggest crashes. It was because of hot dogging that the new fear binding became a big seller. If you got scared enough, your bindings would eject.